the very first day of March 1st, 2024. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. And of course, this is news tonight. Straight away into the bulletin, President Museveni has reiterated his call to Ugandans to create wealth through commercial agriculture with a Chibalo calculation. The president made the appeal during his presidential address on wealth creation held at State House Nakasero.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni said that the National Resistance Movement government emphasizes politics of economics and wealth creation, and they've always urged people to be wealth creators and reject the politics of parasites and sectarianism.
That politics is politics of solving people's problems, especially poverty, not just attending burials and doing things which are really just okugumaza bananchi, to preoccupy them with petty things which don't have serious meaning for their lives. Then the politics of going outside to talk to foreigners, to what, those are just agents of foreign interests.
President Museveni explained that Uganda can be very successful if it develops its indigenous wealth and modernizes it.
But then you find that even the Ugandans are not enough, the market of Uganda is not enough. We need the regional market. So that's why our politics, inevitably, because we were on wealth creation, we had to automatically be patriots in Uganda, love the whole of Uganda, and Pan-Africanists, love the whole of Africa. And then we told our people, that's how we evolved the 4 principles of the NRM: patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy.
On the other hand, the president, who is an extensive farmer himself, tipped Ugandans on how best they can carry out cattle farming for profits, like the case at his Kisozi farm. Museveni further disclosed that his wealth creation gospel has been able to positively impact on his neighbors in Gomba, where his Kisozi farm is situated. According to the Poverty Alleviation Project Coordinator, Sala Narwanga, President Museveni's Entandikwa scheme has done tremendous work in changing the lives of people in the 9 villages.
Kirasi, ng'ekyalo Kirasi, eyina amaka 384. Twaweerezaayo ente 63. Netukuŋŋaanyaayo empaano okuva etwaziwa mu 2012, kale netufuna ente 76 ze twakuŋŋaanyanga empaano y'excellence. Mu Kirasi abaafunayo embuzi gali amaka 50, abaafuna embizzi amaka 8. Essaawa zino y'excellence abatannaba kufuna ku kyakulunda yadde gali amaka 198 mu Kirasi. Lwaki muzeeyi amaka go geeyongera? Nti we twatandika okukola twasanga omuvubuka atannaba kufuna amaka kati yagafuna. Yakula ne yeetongola, amaka go kyovola gagenda geeyongera. Then Kajumiro waliyo amaka 332. Twewalezaayo ente ez'amata 64, twajjayo empaano 68, amaka agafunayo Kajumiro embuzi 50, embizzi twaweereza amaka 8. Abatannafuna ku kyakulunda bali amaka 144. Kisozi galina amaka 263. Kisozi twaweerezaayo ente 63, twakuŋŋaanyaayo empaano 30. Abaafuna embuzi bali 37, ab'embizzi gali amaka 6. Abatannafuna ku kyakulunda bali amaka 27. Kisozi gali amaka 28, twagabayo ente 55, twakuŋŋaanyaayo empaano 18. Twaweereza amaka embuzi amaka 27, embizzi bafunayo amaka 4, abatannafuna ku kyakulunda gali amaka 24.
The president also noted that homesteads' income have since improved through commercial agriculture and is now looking forward to introducing irrigation schemes in the villages so that the locals improve on their productivity. The president also urged leaders to ensure that they are solving problems of Ugandans through mobilization and sensitization.
And as we continue, we are blessed to have Namayemba Dorothy there on sign language. Now, as we move ahead, officials from Uganda Wildlife Authority have found it difficult to explain the delays highlighted in the Auditor General's report of year ended June 2023 in implementing the project of investing in forest and protected areas for climate smart development, where 16.6 billion shillings was not spent. They had appeared before the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authority and State Enterprises, COSASE.
Officials from Uganda Wildlife Authority, UWA, led by the Executive Director, Sam Wanda, have appeared before the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, COSASE, to answer queries of delays in implementing a number of projects funded by the World Bank. The Auditor General's report of year ended 30th June 2023 indicates that 2 activities under the Swedish International Development Project were not implemented. However, UWA Executive Director Sam Wanda considered that by that time they hadn't completed the project implementation, although they have now.
That the 2 remaining items that were in that CEDA grant, which are the printing of materials for Katosa Matters Villa and the provision of non-palatable onion seeds, have now been completed.
Don't know how I can brief their statement, their submission, that everything has been done. I don't know whether they have submitted some documents to prove that, i.e. the contract documents.
When project delays, there is an increment in the funding of the project. Is there any other money that was incurred?
COSASE chairperson Medad Rubega Segona said UWA's format of financial accounts in their statement is in the format of World Bank and not one provided for by government. On the project of investing in forests and protected areas for climate smart development, where the Auditor General raised issues of delays and underutilization of funds to a tune of 16.6 billion shillings, Mr. Munda told the committee that this was caused by having limited procurement officers, coupled by issues of World Bank approvals.
The number of procurement officers we've had before in UWA are 3. They were responsible for providing the procurement services to both headquarters and the 7 conservation areas.
That it takes you ages to procure a procurement officer. 3, that when you are signing this agreement, you knew the components, and that for you to implement the project, you would need a procurement officer.
Legislator Martin Muzale said several institutions have challenges of human resource, while Elijah Cooper said 3 or 4 officers would have been enough to conduct the exercise.
Understand that whenever there is a project that is coming on board, you can have staff on contract basis.
So, unless you're telling us Mr. Paul here is not up to the task,
Chair, there is a delay on the completion of the reservation booking payments and whatever. Now here this is another 4th delay. So I want to ask you, why do you think the Auditor General is concerned about these delays?
UWA has, however, started making purchases from these unutilized funds and have so far spent 8.3 billion shillings on road equipment.
3 graders, 2 excavators, 2 bulldozers, and we are waiting for delivery soon of tippers and water bowsers.
Also heard where some agencies say it has been done, and when you go to scrutinize the documents, for example, here you find like a grader has been procured at 3 billion.
Since the queries of the delays were highlighted in more than 2 projects in the Auditor General's report, Mr. Segona said these need to concede. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa at Parliament.
Thank you very much, there, Nafka Farida. Now, it was a legitimate pay and part of the human resource terms of Parliament. This is the response of the Parliamentary relating to the National Unity Platform Party request that Matthias Mpuga should resign from Parliamentary Commission. Chris Obore, the Director of Communications at the Parliament, reveals that the service reward has been perceived wrongly with intentions to malice the reputation of Parliament. On Thursday, a letter surfaced through the social media platforms that Matthias Mpuga should step down as a member of Parliamentary Committee after receiving the 500 million shillings reward for his services as the leader of opposition.
At the service of the country. And if anybody felt personally offended, I take this occasion to apologize to whoever felt personally offended by my approach. But I always set out to do the best for the country.
The Member of Parliament for Nyendo Mukungwe, Masaka City, Matthias Mpuga, served as the leader of opposition in the 11th Parliament for 2.5 years and was recently succeeded by Nakawa West MP, Joel Senyonyi. During his handover to Senyonyi, Mpuga shared with the members of Parliament the urge to be patriotic while in service.
We occupy this public space for a purpose. And that purpose must not be for the sake of it, but to change the trajectory of this one country called home. And when we are members of Parliament, then that space is even more distinct because the call for duty is beyond the ordinary. And we must be here and look at each other from both sides of the aisle as servants of the people. And at all times we must invite common good to prevail.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, welcomed MP Mpuga to the Parliamentary Commission, hailing his contributions as the leader of opposition.
You're now my commissioner and my staff. And we don't regret, me and the Deputy Speaker, we don't regret being your friends, and we will continue being your friends. I have told even my party, you don't choose for me who my friends are. I will work with my friends, like Honorable Segona is my dad. I will work with them, and even if we differ politically, but we'll work together for the good of humanity. And you did a good job as law. And this country will forever be indebted to you.
Praising MP Mpuga for the service rendered as the leader of opposition did not end in verbatim, but was extended by a token of appreciation described as a service reward. This move seemed to be strange to the National Unity Platform Party, which Mpuga subscribes to. On Thursday, through a NUP party-headed letter, MP Mpuga was asked to immediately resign from the Parliamentary Commission after admitting that he received 500 million shillings service reward.
I summoned a meeting that involved all my deputy presidents, the party leadership including Secretary General, Deputy Secretary General, and other respectable leaders. In that meeting, my deputy president, the Right Honorable Matthias Mpuga, admitted that indeed he took part in this wrongdoing.
According to NUP party headed by Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, the gesture tantamounts to corruption and is contrary to the party's ideology.
We advised him to honorably do 3 things. First, return that money because it is dirty money. Number 2, to apologize to the nation. And number 3, to resign.
The Director of Communications in Parliament, Chris Obore, reveals that the service award was a legitimate pay and was in accordance to the human resource terms of Parliament.
There was no bribe paid to Honorable Mpuga. There wasn't a bribe. Honorable Mpuga, by virtue of being a member of the commission, as leader of the opposition, was offering a service beyond being a member of parliament or being a member of NUP. Because parliament is a distinct institution. It is an arm of government with its own staff, with its own policies. To reward the exhibition, it is one thing to hold institutions and individuals to account. It is another to use it as a pretext to malign, ridicule, and insult leaders.
The side service reward originated from a consensus by Parliamentary Commission, which the Leader of Opposition, Joel Senyonyi, is a member.
And the decisions of the Parliamentary Commission are backed by the Parliamentary Act. That is the law. So calling it a reward only serves propaganda value. But in honest terms, it's a legitimate pay.
If the Parliamentary Commission has the legal mandate to sit and make a decision about thank you, and Matthias Mpuga was thanked via a minute of this commission, I don't see any problem. It would be wrong by the party he comes from to term it a bribe.
In his response through a statement shared on various social media platforms, Matthias Mpuga vows not to step aside as requested by his party, but rather educate NUP leaders on the operations of Parliament. Mpuga calmly expressed his anger, revealing that his own NUP party deliberately intends to character assassinate him. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Sits on 17,751 hectares, of which 80% of this was depleted by encroachers by 2017. However, Basijirenda was glad to inform stakeholders that through the Investing in Forest and Protected Areas for Climate Smart Development Program, if PASID, being funded by World Bank, at least 60% of the depleted Kagombe forest has since been restored.
2023-2024, we are supposed to restore 500 hectares of the wooded areas in Kagombe. And I'm happy to inform you that we were able to restore these hectares here in Kagombe.
Boaz says this program aims at promoting ecotourism, livelihood of forest hosting communities, creating forest infrastructures like constructing roads in forest and visitor information centers.
All this restoration was done by the communities here, the contractors from here, the communities. In terms of the CFMs, they are the ones who did this work.
Community members involved in the restoration process of the forest are appreciative of government's restoration plan.
We are so grateful with other partners who are joining hands with NFA, like the Kison, like the WWF, and really the World Bank.
Sector Manager, Kagombe Central Forest Reserve, Christopher Kamuregea says, over 95% equivalent to over 10,000 hectares has been restored in Kagari district alone, but also noted that they met several challenges to achieve their target.
It was mobilizing of the communities. Some of them were discouraged by the others.
Of Uganda, through the Ministry of Water and Environment, Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Uganda Wildlife Authority is implementing the Uganda Investing in Forest and Protected Areas for Climate Smart Development project funded by the World Bank. The objective of the project is to enhance forest and wildlife conservation for the benefit of local communities and on a large-scale sustenance of the country's economy.
Now, residents of Bushenyi district have been lauded for supplementing government efforts to conserve Kalenzo Forest Reserve and other ecosystems in the district. Bushenyi district is home to lots of natural resources ranging from forests, water bodies, hot springs, among other ecosystems, all of which remain a beacon of conservation thanks to the supportive communities.
Located in southwestern part of Uganda, Kalinzu Forest Reserve is known for its diverse ecosystem consisting of dense tropical rainforest vegetation and a wide range of wildlife. Save for the few trespassers who once in a while penetrated for alleged gold mining, Kalinzu Forest Reserve remains intact thanks to the concerted efforts of both duty bearers and the surrounding communities.
The communities love this forest. And even if there is anything that is taking place here, they report what is taking place. We have got many patrol teams within the forest. Voluntarily, they go to the forest and do a lot of patrol. They are not paid, but because
that I've walked through. When you look at the forest, it is intact. And from the information I picked from our guide, he said this forest is well protected. First of all, by the National Forestry Authority, then the community themselves. And I think this comes as a result of sensitization of the community. They value this forest, and this is why I believe some of them get revenue from the touring activity that takes place in this forest. Ugandans must come and just have a look at it. In fact, I felt like living in the forest.
Also in Bushenyi, the workers took their sensitization campaign to Bushenyi Development Agency School.
So we are planting this tree in commemoration of Uganda Water and Environment Week 2024. Yes, and we commit that we shall continue to conserve the environment and our water resources.
And as we plan, we encourage Ugandans to take up environmental conservation. Thank you.
From there, the team joined Bushenyi district local leaders in a cleanup exercise.
To Uganda Katikiro Charles Peter Mayiga, who will then introduce him to the Kabaka of Uganda, Ronald Muwenda Mutebi. Mayiga advised the new Luomwa to follow the footsteps of his predecessor in uniting the Ndiga grandchildren.
The Ndiga clan has introduced Elia Razi as the new clan head, replacing the late Daniel Bossa, who was shot dead last week. The Ndiga Katikiro introduced him to Uganda's Katikiro, Charles Peter Mayiga, at an event held in Bulange, Mengo.
Sabonzikirize kwanjulire Luomwa gwetufunye nga ab'ekika ky'Endiga. Luomwa amanyage mu bujjuvu Yeria Lwasi Bozabo.
The Minister for Culture in Uganda, Dr. Anthony Wamala, says, according to the reports presented to him from the clan meetings of the Ndiga clan, all norms were followed to appoint a new clan head.
Olunaku lwajjo nasinkanye bazzukulu ba Luomwa abawerako ne bongera okukakasa nti enkola eyakoleddwa y'entuufu mu nnono era nga basemba oyo bannaabwe gwe bayawudde mu bonna tiyagenda okudda mu bigere bya Luomwa.
The Ndiga Katichiro says now that the clan has got a new clan head, the late Daniel Bossa will be laid to rest on Sunday in Mpigi, Mawokota, at Indiga's clan ancestral ground.
Tulina okunyweza ebika, tulina okulwanirira Namulondo, abaami tulina okuweereza n'obwesigwa. Olwo amasiga ganywere entamu ekkalireko bulungi, entamu ye Buganda.
The late Luomwa Daniel Bossa was killed on Sunday last week, and according to the funeral program, he will be laid to rest on 3rd March in Mawokota County, Mpigi District. Andrew Sebira compiled this report for UBC News.
Now, a little into the education sector, senior 4 students from various schools have expressed gratitude towards the NRM government for introducing a practical curriculum that fosters academic exploration and discovery. Students from Forest Hill College, Mukono Matuga Mixed Secondary School, Wakiso, and Emmanuel College School have lauded government's initiative, citing its instrumental role in helping them unlock their academic potential.
The practical curriculum implemented by the government has provided students with hands-on learning experiences, allowing them to delve deeper into subjects and develop a better understanding of real-world applications.
The government for enrolling this curriculum, it was 2020 when the new curriculum was enrolled. This curriculum is about skills.
While today we go to school to learn so that we move out later to work so as to earn. So vocational education is a must in the 21st century.
Speaking on behalf of their peers,
they are not direct like the one for the old curriculum.
This commendable display of enthusiasm and determination among senior 4 students reflects not only their appreciation for the government's initiatives, but also their commitment to academic success. Crispus Arinitwe, Richard Chirembeka, UBC News.
Now, the Adoptive Parents Association is calling on government to review the adoption legal framework process in Uganda, describing it as one of the that hinders most parents from embracing adoption. These remarks were made during a press conference held at Sanyo Baby's home to advocate for adoption awareness and support.
As the number of abandoned children in different foster homes in Uganda rises, Ugandan adoptive parents are urging all Ugandans of goodwill to embrace adoption, as well providing loving homes to children in need and saving them from potential dangers that could arise when they are adopted and taken abroad.
50,000 is a very huge number if you put it in your mother tongue. I understand it very well when I put it in Luganda, emitwale etano, that is a very big number. And out of the 50,000 children, 50 children live at Sanyo Baby's home at a time.
According to the Children's Act of 2016, an adoptive parent is granted full custody of their child after completing the custody court order, among other steps. However, it comes with various challenges. Adopted child in Uganda compared to monitoring their welfare and progress when they are overseas. Ugandans should therefore embrace the adoption culture.
In the past, many Ugandans thought adoption is for the internationals or for the very rich people. I'm glad to inform you that the trend has now changed. In 2010, 2011, 2012, we had many internationals coming in to adopt children until you helped us create awareness on the media.
Adoptive parents have shared their stories on adoption in order to raise awareness and are ready to share more at their forthcoming Adoption Awareness Conference scheduled for March 7th this year.
Once we create the awareness and people can see you testifying that it's possible, then hopefully we can see the increased numbers.
Adoption remains a vital avenue for providing homes and families for these babies abandoned on garbage sites, pit latrines, among other places. With a chance for parental care, they grow up to become useful citizens to the country. Justin Nakami, UBC News.
Now, Ministry of Works and Transport has recommended a unit be created by government with the responsibility of handling road repairs, especially in national roads. And as we hear in the following story, government has done a commendable job on the construction of national roads.
Infrastructure, that thing remains alive for as long as it is supposed to be in its lifespan. But unfortunately for us, sometimes we have done the job, we have handed it to our sister organization KCCA. Now KCCA needs to be told that there must be a team dedicated to maintaining.
According to Uganda Road Fund, the money allocated for road maintenance is very minimal.
It's about 400 billion per annum. And this 400 billion is supposed to be shared between KCCA, UNRWA, and the 135 districts, plus the 31 municipalities. So if you look at the people who are sharing this money, definitely the money is not enough to do maintenance of these roads. At Road Fund, through our calculations, we note that we need about 1.6 trillion per year to maintain our roads in a perfect and good condition. But of that 1.6, we get about 400 billion. So if you calculate the figure, we get about 20 to 30% of what we need.
This year's Engineers' Day theme is Engineering Solutions for a Sustainable World.
Engineers play an important role in pushing the boundaries of applied science, solving technical problems that enable construction, manufacturing, medicine, and numerous other areas to reach new heights.
However, the Engineers Registration Board wants to make it mandatory for all engineers to be registered.
Is that moving forward, we want to make it mandatory. In other words, we don't ask why haven't you registered? We're asking that it is
of local residents from their land.
For land, Sam Mayanja showed extreme harshness during his visit to Katayugwe village in Galilaya Kayunga district.
Omulabe wa President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ngero kyaleko okuba nti akyayinaayina bonna yonna nsaba President nyamuwandikira abakwata ababoni mu NFA babonyaabonyezza eggwanga babonyeza abantu.
The minister was addressing the villagers' plea as they are residing on land claimed by government.
Yanimba kyenjogera kyonna bankyogera mu linnya lye era kijja kukola.
The displaced individuals voiced their concerns to officials from the National Forestry Authority, stating that they were subject to beatings nearly every morning.
Emiti gye bagamba ekibira kye bagamba ffe bikibira abantu boona baana bakirabanga ku muti gwonna buli wadde abantu abava kibuura ne wamale bonna badda wano naye kati babagoba badde wa.
The residents requested the minister to relay their concerns to President Yoweri Museveni regarding the challenges they are encountering in these regions.
Omuntu omu yalina poliisi
kati basaaye awo wabadde alundira kibanja kye
mu maaso go ensonga ya bajjo tetusitula ebigere tuve wano nga tegonjoddwa NRM n'aba yeeganya abantu baayo mu lwatu.
The minister promptly instructed the head of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Unit at State House to arrest without delay both the NFA officers implicated and the Commissioner of the Land Unit.
Declared that the enemies, there are four enemies of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni today under NRM government. Number one is people converting forest into sugarcane plantations and destroying people, beating up people, and deploying the armed men in the name of Environmental Protection Police. I've directed that police be taken away from this area.
Minister Mayanja ordered for cancellation of all the title deeds in the area as they were obtained fraudulently.
Number one, the forest reserves don't exist. Where they exist, they have given it away like those two forests. For 31 square miles, they have already given them away and converted into sugarcane plantations.
Tusaba agalu kyamuzi gakwata bana basajja banene nnyo bebagamba bali eyo waggulu bajja bakwata abantu.
Crispus Arinitwe, Jamil Seka.
5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Have you packed more with Harbour jelly and Harbour foam? Yes, we packed. It will protect your skin from skin rashes. Movit pack. It is a new improved Movit Harbour jelly, so soft and smooth. It is a
100%. Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Herbal Jelly and Herbal Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit All Day Confidence.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda...
I'm fine. Baby, whenever I eat chips and chicken, I feel stomachache, joint pain and body weakness.
My dear, go to Timex Nutrition Center and learn the best food for your body. And get treatment according to your blood group.
Are you sure?
Yes.
By the way, do you know your blood group, genotype, and how much you need to exercise? Come to Timex Nutrition Center for professional advice on how to manage your health and immune boosting. At Timex, we treat diseases like diabetes, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, pressure, and many more. For details, find us at our headquarters in Kampala on Nasa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor. We also have a brand 9952 or 0778 288361. Timex, be your own doctor.
Special announcement. The Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement (NRM) informs party members and the entire public that the membership registration exercise will run from Wednesday 13th to Sunday the 17th of March 2024. You are therefore requested to go to your branches or villages to participate in the display, update and registration of your details. Those confirmed dead, left the area or crossed to other political parties should be publicly deleted from the register, while the new residents and those who have come of age be added. Please note that every member must show up in person and only registered individuals will participate in the internal party structure elections and party primaries.
The public sector or the private sector, we need people with appropriate knowledge, skills, behaviors, and competencies. We need people of that caliber. The qualifications you got today, most likely these are technical skills. And technical skills don't push you far.
He stressed that these efforts could equip them with the tools needed to navigate the challenges inherent in their profession.
I want to call upon you, ladies and gentlemen, to always seek for knowledge. Always seek, because auditing requires knowledge. I've done it, I know. Central knowledge is very, very important. Science, mathematics, just simple mathematics. Mental work. These days, you know, when they say, what is 100 plus 10? You look for your phone to put on the calculator. What is 2 plus 3? You can even look for your calculator. Because we have crippled our minds with ICT. Be careful with ICT, it will cripple you. Can you avoid it and use mental work? Then your brain keeps alert.
Muhwezi advised them to uphold ethical standards to safeguard the interests of the entities they serve. Adding to the discourse, Professor Moses Kasacha, head of the Institute of Internal Auditors, urged the graduates to diligently identify and address operational challenges within their respective organizations, fostering a culture of problem solving and innovation.
We have many other
As Uganda and as UBTS, we are hosting a high-level scientific blood transplant congress from the 4th to the 7th of March at Peak Resort, Munyonyo. I call upon everybody to come and attend this important congress where we shall share knowledge, expertise, and new innovations in the field of blood.
Welcome back. It's time for us to cross borders. Over to Tanzania. Tanzania's second president, Ali Hassan Mwinyi, passed away yesterday in a hospital in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Mwinyi has been receiving treatment since November last year, and his health continued to deteriorate over time. UBC brings you a full biography, personal life, and lifestyle of former president.
Was a Tanzanian politician who served as the second president of the United Republic of Tanzania from 1985 to 1995. Previously, majorly as Minister of Home Affairs and Vice President. He also once served as the chairman of the now ruling party, Chama cha Mapinduzi. In 1991, Tanzania began transitioning towards multipartyism under Mwinyi, following recommendations from a commission led by Chief Justice Nyalali. Despite corruption escalating during his tenure, Mwinyi supported reforms. He also advocated for tough sanctions against apartheid South Africa, criticizing Reagan's reluctancy for stronger measures. In 1986, Mwinyi secured Tanzania's first foreign loan in 6 years from the IMF, with donors agreeing to reschedule debt payments. He negotiated subsequent agreements, including a structural adjustment facility focusing on gradual reforms and increased spending on education. Ali Hassan Mwinyi's legacy includes significant contributions to Tanzania's infrastructure and education sectors, as evidenced by the naming of roads, stadiums, and schools in his honor. These enduring landmarks serve as a testament to his lasting impact on the country's development and education landscape. In retirement, Ali Hassan Mwinyi stayed out of limelight and continued to live in Dar es Salaam. Bantu Machawe Semambo, UBC News.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, a documentary film about our unity as Ugandans and Africans.
Bunyoro would have simply created an East African community that we are looking for today.
The rulers of Bunyoro are actually Luos.
We people who live across the Nile, we are so related from our myth or from just the Nile.
We are the same people, and genetically we are even the same people.
We are similar people.
We are one. Pamoja, we are one.
Of Lango, the contractor who will undertake the construction of Akibua Memorial Stadium in Lira City. Ogwang, who later toured the land where the facility will sit, said the 20-month contract will be undertaken and funded by an Egyptian firm. Let's hear more from Eddie Olua.
The construction of Akibua Stadium has been one of the little matters in Lango sub-region since November last year, when government announced the stadium would be excluded from hosting AFCON games. Leaders and locals came out to statements, press conferences, and campaigns were held.
So it must remain in the list. Otherwise, if they change, that means even what they use for lobbying is a fake document.
Under hook or crook, we are not going to give up.
The beauty is that we already have the name Akibua.
It also provided a soft landing for opposition politicians.
And make no mistake about this, we'll continue talking about Akibua's name.
This is a boundary, so this is one of the roads used to do up.
Government has since maintained its stand that the stadium would be constructed.
Today is a day for action. And the biggest action I've come along with is nothing other than the contractor.
On Thursday, in the company of officials from National Council of Sports, Sports Minister Peter Gwang unveiled the Egyptian contractor that will begin the construction process immediately.
Okay, no! Are you clear? Yeah. We are very serious.
Ogwang said the decision was taken, and His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni directed that the stadium, together with the surrounding facilities, should be worked on with immediate effect.
What has been happening, we have been looking for financial to fund the project, and I'm happy we have got the financial
to fund the project. No wonder we are on site.
The leadership of Lira district donated 18 acres of land for the construction of a stadium in memory of former Olympic gold medalist John Nakibwa.
We want to see a modern stadium here. But you are the same people, no Akibwa, no vote. Now you are getting Akibwa, you must vote 100%.
The construction of Akibwa Stadium was a presidential pledge of 2009 in honor of the late Olympic gold medalist. Unveiling the contractor on Thursday, Minister Ogwang said the facility will be a multi-purpose center of excellence for sports in the country. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
And that brings us to the end of our bulletin. But of course, do not go away. UBC TV will continue airing the programming, but we will be back at 10 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango, and we heard Namuyimba Dorothy on sign language. And of course, as we sign out, we'll leave you with the weather forecast presented by Kutesa Mile.
Thank you for tuning on. 28 degrees Celsius, parts of Nakasongola, 27 Mubende, 26 Kampala, and Masaka. Moving to the eastern, we're having a pickup of light showers across parts of Soroti at the maximum 31 degrees Celsius, Jinja and Tororo with 28 degrees Celsius. The western stretch, a pickup of light showers is expected that side at a maximum 30 degrees Celsius across Kasese, 29 Masindi, Mbarara with 26, and Kawale Highlands with a lowest of 23 degrees Celsius. The northern sector, we're having a pickup of light showers in the afternoon hours, but at the maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. Apart from Arua, where we're seeing it a little low, 29 degrees Celsius only. It's moving out of Uganda to run a few cities across the globe. We are forecasting sunny conditions. Parts of Beijing at maximum 11 degrees Celsius, a little chilly. Nairobi with sunny intervals at maximum 29 degrees Celsius. Dubai with sunny intervals at maximum 24 degrees Celsius. New York and Tokyo with light showers at the lowest of 8 degrees Celsius across Tokyo and New York with 10 degrees only. It's a bit chilly that side. Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Grace Millie. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. UBC, inspiring Uganda. This week on
From the blues to the streets of Africa, DJ Santos. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at DJ Santos.
Can you play that song? Set the mood for me.
Hallelujah, let's go!
Program My School, a great students program and your answer to education perspective, giving you reason as to why you should pay school fees for a child's education, with items like students' talents, thoughts, adventures, and skills showcased, leadership skills, and all other activities plus concerts in various schools in your locations. Remember that our children are our future generation. Don't miss Program My School.
Did you know that our number one value as a nation is to respect and protect the environment? With the current population increase of Uganda and industrialization, this has increased pressure on the natural resources, resulting into environmental degradation and global warming. Developing countries like Uganda could face 80% of the global climate change effects by the year 2030 if no action is taken. Join us here on UBC TV, Inspiring Uganda, on our Eco Plus program, where we bring you an in-depth analysis of issues that are disastrous to our environment. Every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. only on your loved station, the National Broadcaster.
The latest figures for HIV in the UK show that 6,660 people were newly infected and diagnosed with HIV in 2010. Although the number of people living with HIV in the UK is large and may actually reach the 100,000 mark next year, has decreased. And so people coming to the UK from other countries, especially Africa, we're seeing less and less HIV infections already present in those people. The actual rate of infections is plateauing or even decreasing. So it's a mixed picture. It's still a serious condition, it's still something to be worried about, but people need to know that they can test, and if they test early enough before their immune system is damaged and they go on the correct treatment, that they can live happy, healthy, productive lives. They just had an extra phone line put in, so it was like a helpline where people could phone up and get advice and support. And they lobbied for improvements in healthcare and for money to be spent on research into AIDS, and for the British government to take AIDS seriously, because by that time, a number of people were dying, and there was no idea really of what was causing the condition.
The National AIDS Council exists to facilitate and coordinate the national multi-sector response to HIV and AIDS in Zimbabwe. We established in 2000. Our mandate basically is to ensure that there's harmony in the programs to combat the spread of HIV infections, to provide for treatment for people living with HIV, as well as support services including management and monitoring and evaluation. Zimbabwe has come a long way now, to the extent that we're one of the best cases of HIV prevention in the world. In fact, if you look at our situation before 2000, we were quite far behind.
The population in Zimbabwe are living with HIV, whether they know it or not. The situation in terms of the medical care available in Zimbabwe has improved quite radically in the last 10 years. And we believe about half the people who should be on treatment in Zimbabwe are now on treatment. But that still means half the population who are living with HIV in Zimbabwe are not on treatment. And we still believe that a lot of people are not coming forward for testing because there's still high levels of stigma and discrimination, and there's still ignorance and fear about HIV and AIDS. And that stops people coming forward for testing. So there have been improvements, and there's been a big investment in funding treatment in Africa, including Zimbabwe, from all sorts of countries, from developing countries and from developed countries in the West. There's been investment in money spent on HIV treatment, and that's why we're in a situation now where the level of the epidemic in Zimbabwe and other countries in sub-Saharan Africa is going down. So there is hope, and there is investment in treatment, and hopefully the picture will get better in the next decade.
Well, 3 years been retired, also changed my life around since being diagnosed HIV. I've met a different class of people, made better friends, and seem to have a more fulfilled life since becoming HIV. Maybe if I'd used a condom, yes, but because the people I was seeing were relatively my age, I didn't think I needed, but HIV has no age barrier, so it goes without saying. If you want to have sex, be protected. Stigma and discrimination needs to be tackled very much, especially through all the different cultures we have in this country.
Mudzimai wangu akatobatwa izvozvi mushure mekunge abetserwa mwana uyu. Saka mazuva anotiteerei nekuti apa vasati vakumwa zvavo ma-ARV, asi mazuva anoteera aya vakapedza urongwa hwacho vanenge vapapi pachirongwa taakurarama tese takaita sei takadaro. Asi nemaonero yangu inini hapana chinhu tingati hanzi chinenge chadzoka kumashure mushure mekunge tiri vanhu tinomwa ma-ARV. Ma-ARV ari right kana uchinge wabatwa uri positive. Iko zvino ini ndiri kutomwa.
Munotomwa?
Ndinotomwa. Havasati vakumwa. Havasati. Vanomwa zvavo makoti ndiyo avakatangwa navo. B1 ndikuita kutanga ngiri pa 335. Pandakazotanga kunwa ndokapinda pa 441. Saka apa handisati ndatorwa futi. Saka ndiri kuona kuti masoja angu ari kuita sei, ari kukwira.
I became interested in working for Terence Higgins Trust because I'm living with HIV myself. I was diagnosed in 2004, and within 3 years I was on medication.